What's up, guys? I spalled out a big tab of Georgia Jasper the other day, and these were some of the big spalls that came off of it. And I thought, why don't I try to reduce these so that I can later either work them raw or put them into a kiln. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And we're gonna start with this piece right here. Now, Georgia Jasper is a really neat, interesting material. It can be consistent, but it can also be very inconsistent, depending on the piece that you get. Of course, you're able to see in some of the previous videos kind of what it looks like in boulder form, but it also comes in tabs, which are kind of my favorite. I think most of y'all know that tabs are my favorite, but make sure this is in frame here. But anyways, what we're planning on doing is just removing some cortex here. Whoopsie daisies. Well, I guess that helps us out. Could have been worse. But there was a lot of cortex there, so it doesn't surprise me. And then, of course, once we spall it out, we'll be able to heat it up. And funny enough, this cortex does flake okay at times. It doesn't always flake very good. There are moments where it does okay. But again, this raw boulder tends to work really nice. Pretty good quality piece. But anyways, hope y'all are doing well, of course. As many of you know, we've been doing some live streams lately, and I've been really enjoying those. Hope y'all have too. So we'll try to keep those going. But, speaking of Georgia Jasper, oh, well, I guess I took it inside, crud. I have a Pickwick that I made from it in a live stream, I don't know, maybe about a week ago. I put it in my keeper case, and then I was like, well, I might as well offer it to everybody else. So I do have a Jasper Pickwick for sale. It's a good flake. But we're just about where I would want to be thinning this piece down. And honestly, this Jasper doesn't need a ton of heat. It just needs a little bit. And so there's biface number one. Put it down here maybe, be a little easier to see. This one is a little interesting because it kind of makes a cup. You see the shadow there? See, it's just a big cup. And you dip and use it as a spoon, I guess, or if you like chips and salsa, you could do that as well. I had a professor at college who would always say, Jake, let's go get some chips and salsa, dude. His name was Steve. I love Steve. Of course, Mexican is where typically we go get food after church on Sundays. Get like a chimichanga, a couple tacos or something. I'm very basic. The kind of guy who orders chicken tenders at every restaurant, just about. My dad said I'd turn into a chicken tender. Hopefully that was a joke, but I'm sure it was. That was an interesting little platform there. I didn't know if it would run, but it did. Now, we do have this kind of seam here that I'm not really liking very much. And it's one of those you got to get rid of. It's coming out a little better than I thought. It's just about out. Yeah, it's essentially all the way out now. Not quite, but essentially. Here we go fluting again. That one didn't take. That's all right. Can't get all of them perfect, I guess. Anyways, that's decent enough. Get the cortex off, you know, just kind of get things started. And the rest can come later. Might try to keep a little bit of white on the tip on this point. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, we can go ahead and heat this one up and then be ready to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So there's two. This one's a little bit more interesting because it's thicker. So we might actually get some cool flakes from it. Now, of course, I want to preserve the side that's closest to the cortex, meaning I'd like to remove everything that's a little bit distant. But this one's an odd case where I might change it up. There's a cool looking flake. And the reason why is because it looks like this cortex goes a little deeper than you might think. And now we're at a stage where I can easily get that off. So now we can come around and flake the other side off. And so instead of running this ridge, we'll be shooting off of this face if we're able to. Good flake. Good flake. That's not really a good platform there. See if I can angle something back. Kinda. This is one of those interesting flakes that in Flintknapping that I didn't really know about till, goodness, probably a couple years in. And it's what we just call I call a twirl flake. And it's where you don't really have a built-up platform, and it's too steep here, too steep to just drive one in. It won't go. You would just absolutely mess it up. But this area here is so weak that if you hit very close, it'll twirl one off. And it's only because that area is weak that'll give you a twirl. And the same thing here. And I begin to use that method now. So we're coming to where the angle is much better now. It's more out than down. It was going just about straight up, but now it's more out here. And I actually use that on the tip whenever I'm working close to the tip, because I don't want to force anything and shatter the piece. But where it's fragile, I'll strike beside it, and that can often clip off a good flake. I'll have to try to show that off in another video sometime. Just one little thing I picked up over the years. It's funny saying that because I'm so young. Over the years, I thought I'd be at least 50 or something when I'd say it. Be there for you know it. This is already at a stage where it'd be fine to put it, plenty fine to put it in a kiln. I'm just gonna show it a little extra love here. Because it is flaking very nicely. There we are. Run it on over. And even in through here, can probably do a little bit. And there you go, another biface. So that makes 3. Let's do one more. This one is a little bit lower grade than the other couple, but I showed it off in the thumbnail, so I gotta work it now. Now this area right here is some of that golden stuff that I made some previous Clovises out of. Over here is a little bit more dry, but very consistent, meaning that when it's heated up, it should work very well. Now this can still make raw pieces, raw points, but Jasper, when it's heated, is just so slick and nice and beautiful, and it stands out way more. So I like that. But if you got raw Georgia Jasper and it's naturally slick, that's just even better for me. I just think that's cool. This is already a decent size. It's plenty. It's not, you know, too thick. And honestly, I could just shove it in there just like this, and then be a-okay. I did cause a little goof up right here along the edge, but it's essentially gone now. Yep. And so there's a little biface. I'll make the nicer part the tip to the point. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, raring to go. So I'll be making some points out of these in upcoming videos. Probably will heat them first, but anyways, hope you enjoyed. Catch y'all next video.